Welcome, and our point of interest today we are going to examine mode as a measure of central tendency, and specifically we're going to talk about mode of grouped data. Now, grouped data simply refers to data which have been clustered into classes. For example, 10, a class of, let's say 10 to 20, that is a grouped data. We have data line from 10 to 20. But now, because we are given so many classes of data in this case, we are going to see, and basically mode refers to the number that appears most in a set of data. For example, if you have data maybe 1, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 4, in this case it is very easy to determine the mode, which is actually 4, that appears most. So this one becomes the mode. But in the case of a group data, mode is determined by linear interpolation using the formula. This is the formula for getting mode for a grouped data, whereby L refers to the lower value of the model class. That is the lower value of the class in which the mode lies. And the class in which the mode lies will be determined or will be given by the frequency, the highest frequency. Like in this case, if you have a class, for example, 10 to 20, this one is the lower value. Then F1 is plus F1 minus F0, and F1 refers to the frequency of the model class. That is, how many times does the class which contains the mode appears. F0 refers to the frequency of the class preceding the model class. That is, how many times does the class that comes just before the model class appears, or the frequency of the class which comes before the model class. Then divide by F1 minus F0, the same for the numerator, plus F1 minus F2. Now F2 here refers to the frequency of the class succeeding the model class. That is the frequency of the class which comes just after the class with the model class. To succeed means to come after. This one is after. Then we have times I. So when you divide this one, so here we have three values. The value for L2, then the value for all of this one worked out, times I. And I refers to the class interval of the model class. For example, the class interval in 10 to 20 should be 10. That is the interval, the difference between the two values. Most importantly, we are supposed to determine what is known as, from the question, like for example, in the question I told that the following data of share prices of 1,000 companies listed in the regional stock market. So we have the share prices from the classes are given from 100 to 240. We have the number of companies per each class, which refers to the frequency of the number of occurrence. Then part 2 says, state the mode of the data. So the mode of the data, as we said, we are simply going to look for the lower limit. And the lower limit should be the lower value of the model class. And in this case, if we examine this one, the number of companies which gives us the frequency, the number that appears most, the highest value is 300. So this one, essentially we are going to use this particular class, which is given by the highest frequency. So this one essentially become F1, which is the frequency of the model class. Then it means our F1, the lower value of the model class, which is LL, should be this one. So we are going to have LL such. So we have that one. We already have F1. F0 should be the frequency of the class preceding the model class. To precede means to come before, the class that comes just before. So it means it should be F0 should be frequency of the class, should be 190. 190 comes before 330. So this one should be F0. So we have F0, we have F1. F2 should be the frequency of the class succeeding the model class. So the frequency which comes after the model class is 2 or 5. This is our F2. Then finally we have I, which is the class interval of the model class. Our model class is this one. Now the interval is the difference between 180 and 200, whereby I is supposed to be 20. So having this one, we can now get our mode. And our mode is supposed to be 180, which is the lower class, plus we have F1, which is 330, minus F0 as per the equation. F0, which is 190, divide everything by 330 minus 190 again. Then we have F1, which is 330. The other should be plus 330 minus F0, F2, sorry, which is 205. This one multiply by 20, which is the class interval. So we are supposed to essentially work out this value here. So it's supposed to be 330 minus 190. It's supposed to be 180 plus, it is 140, divide by 140 again, the difference between these two. This one should be plus 205, 330 minus 205, which is essentially 125. Multiply this one by 20. Again we get 180 plus, so 125 plus 140 should give us 65. So this one divide by the answer, so 140 divided by the answer, we should get 0.52 times 20. So times 20, you're supposed to get 10.57. So we have our mode as 190.57. So essentially our mode lies between 190 and 330, which actually makes sense. So thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe.